Hey guys, Kildare here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys some new and exciting information about Heroes of the Storm. For the time being, I'll be focusing on Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch information that comes out of Blizzcon. This is content I want to be focusing on and delve further into onto my channel, so with that said, let's have a look. So the first thing that came up was of course the future of Heroes of the Storm, and it really looks promising. Naturally, one of the topics that was brought up was competitive play, and yes, there will be ranked play. This is to be expected. But I'm sure you're all wondering how it will work. Well, thankfully, they explained it to us, and from how it looks, it could be ready sooner than we thought. It'll be the standard draft pick, a common term used in MOBAs, but if you don't know what that means, I'll explain it quickly. Simply put, both teams are put in a lobby. In the Heroes of the Storm system, a coin flip will determine which team will pick their hero first. The winning team will then have a member pick a hero. That hero selection is visible to both teams, which means that you can counterpick your enemy. After that person is locked in, the team that lost the coin flip will then have two members select heroes. It will continue in this manner till everyone has a hero. Anyway, back to the facts. There will be no duplicate hero selection, which means, let's just say, if the enemy chooses Illidan, you cannot then pick Illidan, unlike in normal games where you can have mirror matchups. Another very important factor is that while you're in the lobby, not only can you see your enemy team composition, but finally you will be able to see what map you are going to be playing on. So far, the system will randomly pick a battleground. Some really good news, which makes me very happy, is the future loading screens for battlegrounds will look something like this. We will finally be able to see the enemy team composition during the loading screen. Nothing is more embarrassing than forgetting to press tab to check the enemy team, and you go push a lane and then suddenly a wild Zeratul appears. This is not only for ranked, but this will also be applied for normal games as well, so no more excuses. Another feature that people are expecting is banning heroes in ranked draft mode. However, the developers have said they do not want to bring this in yet. They said that if there is balancing issues, they will bring it in as a last resort, but they want to stay away from this idea for as long as possible, which I also agree with, and I think it'd be much better to not be able to ban heroes. A feature that I was not expecting was two different ranked modes. They are Heroes League and Team League. Heroes League is essentially normal ranked, allowing you to either solo queue or queue with your friends and play ranked game. Blizzard has said matchmaking is very important to them, and say, for example, if you queue with two of your friends, making a total of 3, then the system will try to match you against an enemy team that also has a 3-man pre-made in it. If you solo queue, the system will try to match you up with 9 other people who have solo queued. In order to play Hero League, you must be at least level 30. The other rank system, Team League, works a lot like the old arena system in World of Warcraft. You'll be able to make your own ranked teams with its own name. You can have a maximum of 10 people in your ranked team. It's still a 5v5 game. The other 5 members can be subbed in if a teammate is not available or you want to rotate members in your team. In this league, you will be versing other 5-man pre-mates. You can be a member of up to 3 teams. Winning and losing games will not affect your personal rank, but only your team rank, as they said so far. And you must be at least level 40 in order to play Team League. So now we know how ranked is going to work, but what about the ranks themselves, and how will they work? A lot of people, myself included, thought that they would use a system like League of Legends. However, they've chosen not to use this system, thank God. The developers looked at a lot of ranking systems and decided a system similar to Hearthstone's ranked play would be the best, so that you can expect Heroes of the Storm ranked to be very similar to Hearthstone's ranked. Essentially, your rank will start at 50 and it will go to a maximum of 1. Winning games will earn points, and of course losing games will make you lose points. Just like in Hearthstone, say if you win a few games in a row, you will advance a rank. Just like with World of Warcraft and Hearthstone, there will be ranked seasons, and your rank will reset after each season. Next up, the developers talked about a big problem in Heroes of the Storm, which is AFKers, or leavers as they call them on the stage. They admitted that they thought a lot of people would have been put off by the current punishment system, which is if you leave a game you do not gain gold, experience, etc. But most people pushed it away anyway. So they have come up with a new system to deal with leavers, and I quote, "We figured that leaving a game became sort of a game style for people. So we thought, well, why not bring everyone who enjoys that game style together?" The developers explain that if you leave, say, 2 to 3 games in a few days, you'll be flagged as a leaver, and we'll be notified of this in-game. As long as you remain flagged, you'll be paired with other people who have been flagged as well. Thus, all leavers will be in the one game, sharing their game style with each other. In order to be unflagged, you need to simply not leave games, and you'll be taken out of the quote-unquote penalty box. They said they will be testing the system soon, and should it fail, they will start looking at alternatives to punish people who leave game. I personally am very happy with this system. I think it's quite balanced. I think it will work, and I can't wait to see it work. I get really annoyed at people who AFK, and it really bothers me. So we'll move on to the next segment now. Alright then, next up, it wouldn't be a show if they didn't show off some new heroes. I was expecting way more heroes to be announced, but they did also announce some more battlegrounds, which took me by surprise, so I'll accept that. So first up, we have the one that I've been looking forward to so much, Jaina Pradmore. She will be in the game fairly soon and is pretty much complete. They didn't show off too much, just a little bit of gameplay, and she's clearly a Frost Rage ranged assassin. Blizzard also showed off some of her moves in the in-depth panel. Jaina can summon a water elemental or use Ring of Frost as her heroic ability, and her other abilities range from Frostbolt, Blizzard, Cone of Cold, and the trait that makes her crit against frozen targets. She looks very promising, and I really can't wait. Next up is Thrall. Of course, this is inevitable, but something I really like is that they based off the Warcraft 3 Thrall or early World of Warcraft Thrall. As usual, they didn't go into his moveset too much, but from what I could see, he can at least cast Chain Lightning, he has a move called Wind Fury, and he can throw a Spirit Wolf at you to stun or snare you. They also showed off one of his heroic abilities. It doesn't have a name, but it consisted of Doomhammer being smashed on the ground and leaving a massive crater in the front line in front of him, doing massive damage and potentially stunning. Strangely enough, we did manage to get some gameplay footage of him in Battle for All. This happened later that day. Thrall was going to be a tank, but they decided against it and made him a melee assassin in-game, as they found it to be more fitting for his role. The next few heroes are not complete yet and have very little information given about them, but let's have a look at them anyway. A strange hero I did not see coming was the Lost Vikings, which are 3 heroes in one. According to developers, they should not be taken lightly and are extremely hard to play, as they can split up, which is how they are meant to be played. Blizzard showed some footage of the Vikings splitting up on the map Dragon Shrine. With the Vikings alone, they managed to simultaneously take both shrines and the Dragon Knight. However, they said it is nearly impossible to get off, and it is very hard to control 2 Vikings and a Dragon Knight at the same time. Lastly, we have Sylvanas Windrunner. Sylvanas is still being tested, but they did say she will be a high damage ranged assassin and that her trait will make enemy minions and towers near her eventually slow down and stop attacking completely. They also showed off one of her heroic abilities, which is Mind Control, making enemy minions or mercenaries permanently join her team. Unfortunately, this is all the information they released about Sylvanas. They did say a little bit about her trait and how they're still playing around with it, but it could end up being a stun to minions. But they said they want to make Sylvanas siege orientated over hero orientated. Next up, we have some heroes that were shown off in the in-depth panel. There are only screenshots, but no gameplay was given, and they were very, very quick. They didn't actually explain much about them at all. They were just showing images of them. So we have King Leoric, the Butcher, and Crusader from Diablo. For my previous video, 10 heroes currently in development, I got 5 out of the 7 right, which I'm pretty proud of. They also hinted at their next big event for Heroes of the Storm, which is what I can gather to be a huge Diablo-based patch. In this patch, we will most likely see Leoric, the Butcher, and the Crusader be released. Some Diablo-based skins for other universe heroes, and a new Diablo battleground. From the screenshots, we can see that it will be a Heaven vs Hell map and looks really good, but it is still in extremely early development. I really can't wait, and I am most excited for the map. and what objectives it may bring to the game. I really look forward to it. Along with that, we also have 2 new battlegrounds. One is near completion and the other one is still being developed. First we have Sky Temple, and my god, this looks amazing. It is quite awe-inspiring, and you can really see how much effort and detail they have put into it. The thing that really sold me was the fact that this gave all the structures, minions, camps, they all got a custom appearance. Even the core, tower, forts, they all look amazing. It's got this really nice Egyptian theme going with it, and could be somewhat related to Uldum in World of Warcraft. As you can see, it is a 3-lane map with 3 tombs on it which serve as the map objectives. The tombs are located to the north, south, and one in the middle of the map, as well as a watchtower between the north and the middle tomb. There are 2 hard camps, 2 easy camps, and 1 boss camp on the map. The boss looks sorta like a Nubarak, or an insect from the Temple of Ankh-Raj, and will summon a cyclone every so often when you attack him. At a certain point in the match, one of the 3 temples will be randomly activated. After this activation, the temples will then activate randomly. Once activated, a team can then move onto the platform and capture it. Once it's been captured, minions will spawn around it and contest it from being captured. As long as your team is killing the minions on the platform and stay on it until the end of the waves, the temple will start shooting beams at the nearest enemy structures. Fighting for the temple will be very strategic, as you will be fighting both powerful minions and the enemy team over the temples. The randomizer will also make it that 2 temples can become active at the same time at some point in the game. The other battleground is the Tomb of the Spider Queen. The developers were running out of time, so they could not explain much about this map. As you can see, it is an underground map, and also has custom structures, which I'm very happy about. This map is similar to Blackheart's Bay, the basic objective being killing minions and collecting gems that they drop. Collecting enough, you can then summon the Spider Queen. Unlike Blackheart's Bay, the Spider Queen is either controllable or a powerful boss minion that will then push a lane. For now, we don't know, but it looks very impressive. Now, right at the end, they did a Q&A, and I'm sure everyone is curious to hear from it, so I will be reading out some of the questions and answers. These questions and answers are from the Heroes of the Storm main event and Heroes of the Storm in-depth panel. I did leave out some of the stupid and rude questions and shorten them up a bit because they do have a tendency to get off track, but they do give us some good information anyway. Will Heroes of the Storm be implementing heroes from novels and comics? The response given was yes. Rhaegar is an example of this, as he is mostly from the comics and he is in the game. If a character does not make it into the game, then they might do a skin of it instead. For example, Medicu. If you have an emergency and must leave Heroes of the Storm, will you be flagged? The response given was no. There will be a few grace leaves, but if it's too frequent, you will be flagged. Will you be adding heroes from Overwatch to Heroes of the Storm? The response given was, we probably will at some stage. Will you be introducing any other game mode apart from the MOBA standards? The response given was, we don't know right now, but we do plan to add more maps. We are also looking into PvE ideas as well. Will there be end of season rewards for ranked play? The response given was, yes. We don't know what it will be just yet, but it will be some sort of cosmetic to show off what rank you got last season. Will there be more rogue-based characters in Heroes of the Storm? The response given was, yes. We definitely have plans to add more into the future, and we might see some familiar faces too, such as Edward Van Cleef. Will the old maps, like Dragon Shrine and Blackheart's Bay, be updated with the custom units and structures that we saw in the upcoming maps? The response given was, yes. At some stage we are planning to do this. It is alpha, so we used the basic fort and minions as a placeholder for further progression. We also might add seasons to maps, like Snow on Blackheart's Bay. Will Diablo in Heroes of the Storm get a Diablo 3 skin? The response given was, it is something in consideration. We did design the current Diablo from Diablo 2. We might unveil more about it at the release of the Heaven vs Hell map. Well guys, I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to what Heroes of the Storm will bring to the table. Don't forget, Heroes of the Storm is entering closed beta on the 13th of January 2015, which means a wave of invites will be going out, so keep an eye out and look at Overwatch 2. I'm really excited for it, and I think it's going to be great. If you like this, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.